Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Athieno, and in this video I'm talking about why tilting is actually making you worse in Rainbow Six. I think about 90% of the player base struggles with mental perspective in Siege, because Siege, I will always preach about that it's about like 70% mental and 30% mechanical. And you might be thinking like, oh, well, I can't just think my way there. I have to actually shoot back at times, which you're right. That's what the 30% is. But there's a lot of times where confidence plays a key. And if you're not confident in your gunfight, you're obviously going to lose it. But confidence is more of a different topic that we'll talk about in a different video. But in this video, we're going to be talking about why tilting is making you worse. The first thing that if you're really tilted in Siege, it's really important is that you're not going to make smart decisions. Now, everybody watching this video can be a grown-up, whether you're 13 or you're freaking 30, I don't care. You know that smart decisions will always lead to the right thing. Now, even when you aren't tilted, making smart decisions isn't always the easiest thing to do. But the faster that we can reach that clear state of thinking is going to help us improve better. Now, think about it. Let's say you just got slammed by this dude who's quick picking you on 300 ping. What can you do about it? It's really frustrating, right? Well, you can't let that bad mental build you up, because if you let that tilt and snowball into it, the next round, you're just going to go in being like, all right, I just want to get this over with, and you're not making a smart decision. How are you going to drone for yourself or your teammates? Position yourself better, think about the utility, think about what makes Siege Siege. A lot of the time, smart decisions aren't always just one thing, it's what it does in the moment. Now, in my opinion, I think there is no right way to play Siege. If you think about it, Latem plays like really aggressive and it works out, but in NA, you know, if you overpeak, you get crucified just for doing that. So the next time you play, even if you aren't tilted or try to untilt yourself, try to tell yourself to make smarter decisions, slow down your thinking, take a step back, go on your phone for a bit, even though I tell you guys to not go on your phone. But sometimes, you know, you just need a reset from the round and then go back in, make smarter decisions. Next up, the second thing we have is why tilting is making it worse in Rainbow Six. Is that it builds a bad mentality. Now, if you guys are new to my content, I speak a lot about mentality. I think it's probably one of the most important things in your life, not just Siege, because it's what gives you that perspective of what you want to do. Now, when you understand that everybody has their own perspective, but aside from that part, having a bad mentality is never going to take you anywhere good in Siege. Now, when you're tilted, you're not going to think clearly and you're not going to think straight. Now, you might think, oh, there's some times where around where I can just let it loose and be angry. It's okay to be angry sometimes. But as rounds go on and games go on and days go on, you're going to fall to this victim mentality of, man, why is everything bad always happen to me? Why am I always cursed? Do I get the lowest rank, get the worst teammates? You see, what if you actually look at more of the positive side? And let's define tilting for a second. Tilting is not necessarily getting angry and showing your worst emotions right away, but it's kind of that building state of being in a good mood, and it's that bridge to an angry state. And this angry state is where we don't want to be in a lot of the time, because one, we don't make smart decisions and we're not going to play good, and we want to have fun in Siege, right? So I suggest that you try to work a little bit on a better mentality. But in my opinion, you're not going to build a good mentality overnight. What you need to do is change your perspective a little bit here and there. So the next time that you find yourself tilting in Siege, think about one thing that went wrong. Oh, you know, this guy got lucky. Okay, well, let me take a step back. But having a bad mentality is only going to stop you from growing. So I want you, the next time that you play Siege, when something doesn't go your way or something doesn't please you in Siege, try to catch yourself before you say, man, this game sucks, or gosh, that guy is so shit, or something like that. Take a step back, think about it. Okay, is he really shit, or did he make the right play? Did I make the wrong play? Okay, I understand that I made a mistake. Let me try to improve that for next time and move on from that. Mentality is super key, not only for tilting, but for life in general. And I want to preach that for you guys. The next reason why tilting is making you worse in Rainbow Six is that you're not going to learn anything better. Now, this kind of circles back to the first 2 points, the smart decisions and bad mentality. Now, let's think about it for a second. When you're tilted in Siege, you know, you just are very reactive and everything almost makes you mad. Even someone not closing your door when you're playing Siege kind of makes you mad, right? So being very reactive what goes on to you and not allowing things to get to you so quickly is a very good thing to have. Now, let's say during a ranked match, you have a bad round and it keeps your head down the entire time. So the next 3 rounds, your head is down and you're not even listening to what's going on around you. Therefore, you're not even going to be putting any effort to the next few rounds, which is going to prevent you from even getting as a better player. Now, when you tilt, you eventually just start giving up and it's going to make you want to get off for the night. But instead, what if we change that? What if after that round, we go down for a little bit? All right, prep phase is starting. All right, next round, we pick our head back up and we stay forward on what we can improve next. Who knows, these next 3 rounds, you might get like a 3K and a clutch, and you might start building more momentum just because you kept that good mentality. It doesn't matter what your teammates, if your teammates are all pissed off and all that, who cares, bro? I mean, it's not going to affect you, right? That's why you want to try to avoid tilting in Siege, is because you're not going to learn anything better. Instead, you got to keep your head up and be open to the opportunities that will come your way. The next thing I want to talk about is that tilting is tearing down your mood. And before we get into this one, I want you guys to realize that a lot of things I'm talking about right now is all mental. Notice I'm not saying, oh, just pick this operator and you're going to be better, or, you know, reinforce this wall and roam this way. I'll circle back to the point that Siege is so much mental and very less mechanical. If you want to be good at Siege or anything in life, it all starts in here, not around here. So obviously we know when you're tilted, it can tear down your mood, but how? Is it possible to be in a good mood and tilt at the same time? Yes, and that's actually okay. Here's why. I'm not going to ignore the fact that if you lose a round or lose a game that you really want to win, if you want to get that champion rank or whatever rank you want to get, obviously you want to win, right? And it's not going to feel good when you lose. That's just having a winner's mindset as well, so I'm not going to judge anyone about that because I do that myself. But what I will get you on about is that if you have a bad mood and you're tilting the same time, is that you let that tilt get to you and you have accepted the fact that you're just going to let things boss you around. Now, I want you guys to think about when you guys are having a good time in Siege. Are you ever in a bad mood or maybe a sad mood, tired mood? No, you're really energetic. You're laughing with your buddies or whatever yourself. You're jamming out to some music. Having a good mood clears up your mind and you're able to make smart decisions like we talked about. You might have a better mentality as well. And when you do both of those things, the circle goes back to what we just talked about, is that you will learn better things. But when you're in a good mood, it gives you like a whole new head, if that makes any sense. You know, your mind's more loose and then you make a lot more decisive decisions. So what I recommend that you guys get into a better mood, so that way you guys can avoid tilting, is to 1, play with more positive friends because they will uplift you more. They're not going to influence you to feel sad for some reason. Number 2 is put on some music between rounds. This is what I do. You know, some hip hop, maybe some pop or metal, whatever music you want to listen to, but kind of loosen up more. You know, you don't want to be so tied up when you play, because then you're going to be very like reactive and you're going to shake a lot. But when you're in a bad mood, you're just going to find more ways to feel sorry about yourself, not take accountability for anything that's going around you. So do some things that makes you in a better mood. And I know maybe, you know, you guys come home from school, maybe, you know, some family issues or from work, you know, you have a long day. I understand before you come to play Siege, you might have a preset mood. At that point, I would be careful even playing Siege, because sometimes Siege can be an intensive game and it can be a lot of mood swings too. So if you're ever in a cranky or tired mood from work, just take like an hour, take a nap, watch some YouTube, then come back when you're in a better mood to play Siege. That way you will tilt less and overall you will improve more as a player. And the last thing I want to talk about, and this will wrap all 4 of the other things we talked about into one thing, because it's all about mental, and I'll say it many times. Now, the last reason why tilting is making it worse in Rainbow Six is because it's creating a less peaceful environment for you. You know, let's say you have a really bad rank game, and then now, like I said, you're going to be in a worse mood, you're going to have a bad mentality, and that's going to carry on to the real life as well. You know, you check your phone, oh man, that's going to make me really pissed off, or oh man, I spilled my water, man, why is everything happening to me? Like, it's really going to have that build up and make you tilt more IRL. I mean, not even a joke. So some things that I recommend to make your environment more peaceful is 1, the temperature of your room. What I mean by that is, you know, if you're cold, maybe put on your cold hands, go put on some blankets, some sweatshirts, maybe even like warm your hands a little bit, do some exercises. But the opposite, I think it's a lot easier to handle a cold room. But when you're in a hot room, it's going to put yourself in a more stressful mood. You're going to be hot, you're going to be complaining, and the complaint's going to carry on to the game, and you're not going to play as well. You see, everything has a connection to how you perceive things. Now, I used to have a very hot room, but what I did to prevent that is 1, obviously we know AC. Don't have AC, fan, open up a window. 2, you know, wear very light clothing, minimum or maximum t-shirt, shorts, take off your socks. Hey, no sus though. But after all of that, that's kind of out of your control though, which I'll get to another video, is really focusing on what you can control in your environment. Now, environment can be literally anything, your setup and IRL. Let's talk about a few things. Now, the things that you can control is one, your teammates. You know, if your teammates are really, you know, they're annoying, they're loud, they're complaining, there's a mute button, there's a deafen button. You know, you can turn them down. You know, they're not gonna know that you muted them, but I mean, you don't have to do it all the time. What I'm trying to say is that sometimes they can just be, you know, flooding negativity to you. Just take off your headset for a second, listen to some music. I don't care. The second thing is obviously keeping a powerful mind as well. If it's hot in your room, or maybe you're just getting slammed in game, accept it. Adjust your mind to work in these harsh environments. That way you can think a lot clearly as possible. Make your environment set you up for more success in the game. At the end of the day, it's not that you can make everything perfect by just doing these simple things, but it's how you take things away, you make mistakes into lessons, and you move on from there. So those are 5 reasons why I think tilting is making you worse in Rainbow Six, and hopefully I could help you guys fix it a little bit. If you're new to my channel, I make a lot of educational videos on Siege, so be sure to subscribe. I'll really appreciate that. We're on the road to 100,000 subs. We recently just hit 50K. I want to really thank you guys for that. But all jokes aside, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Peace out.